You're back here at the OCE Championship for League Play 1 and for the last series of the day. I'm Hysterics Courier. Now Yummy Cheeseman has swapped positions at the end of the desk. Let me tell you one thing and one thing only, that Tainted Minds and Chimpwits have not played each other yet, nor have they played today here in League Play. Expectations, Courier Lord?
Wrong, they have played each other.
No, but not today, I said.
Well, of course they haven't played each other today.
Yeah, of course not. So, expectations with Tainted Minds and the new roster, Mr. Courier Lord.
Well, I have high expectations, like very high.
Yeah.
If you look through the way they qualified, they went 6-1, excluding their loss in the 6 other games. They had at least 5 goals in every series in a single game.
And not only that, this is the old dark-sided roster. But without Dumbo and with CJ, I can't think of it as anything but an upgrade. And more importantly, bringing in CJ is going to really help develop their team because he's the kind of very thinking player. He's going to bring a very different dynamic. Dark-sided players will bring their own dynamic. I expect them to be consistent and strong at scoring at the same time.
With no problem with the adjustment period as well. That's the other thing I imagine. It should be a really smooth transition with communication.
I think after what we saw out of Order, I don't know what to expect anymore. I think my expectations have just gone off the pitch.
Well, Order was kind of a very leftovers team. Dumbo kind of dropped from Dark-sided.
That's fair.
Jules and Zen as well left from their team. This team is a very calculated team, ready to go. And up against Chimpwits, who almost in similar fashion are a leftover team, with Delusion coming out, they're going to be much more rough and tumble.
Yeah, you got like the superstar effect of Delusion, and then you have 2 guys who have a big experience in League Play. Requiem's been around since Season 3.
Yeah, last time we saw Requiem, Season 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Masterminds, then sub for Chiefs.
I mean, Requiem has been around for a while, but we actually haven't seen him in the OC Championship for very long.
No, and in his season that he was there, he was on what is essentially the bottom team. They came not last because of some forfeits that happened, but...
That's right.
Don't take those victories away from them.
I won't. But they are a definite fan favourite. They've got Billy on the team, Delusion and Decker, big memers, and they're working really hard. They're currently... Looked at Billy. He's had 160 hours the last 2 weeks.
What?
That's not bad.
And I make sure to
is that?
look at what he's doing every time I see him online, and he's always either practicing or in a game. He's not just like idling in the menu.
All right, so maybe with bigger expectations of Chimpwits then, let's go straight to predictions. Let's not muck around.
Tainted Minds.
All right. After all this talk, he's been spending a lot of time.
I think it's going to be a very
League.
clean 3-1.
3-1, Courier.
I reckon it's going to be
hours?
like a really gross 3-0.
Really gross?
I think there's going to be like 2 games with 5 or more goals, and there'll be one that's like 3-2.
I think it's fair.
I reckon it'll be a 4-0. I reckon it'll be that dominant by Tainted Minds. It'll be a 4-0. It's not even possible. We're about to jump into game. Tainted Minds, a team that CJ really is the face-off. So if CJ wasn't in Tainted
beautiful
Minds,
face.
you'd go, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, he is the one who brought the organization over to this roster.
Yeah.
They picked up Shady and Express, hence why they're Tainted Minds now. And he's like the face for sure.
That makes perfect sense, right, Courier?
And we all want him to get RLCS purely for the walkout, right?
Yeah.
I mean, after last time, why wouldn't you? Anyway, we're going to get there first. Tainted Minds, Chimpwits now jumping on the pitch for the first time here today. And it looks like there are going to be some big expectations on Tainted Minds.
And some big explosions as well. Darksided's roster last season was big on the demos. We're seeing Express on Tainted Minds going straight back to that style of destroying the opposition, both mechanically and physically.
See what Chimpwits can do, though, right in front of net for Tainted Minds. Looking for the clear, and Express will reach it, and that's a bit of speed on the ball. CJ won't go in, but Express, first touch is a great one.
What an early start as well. They're just controlling the pitch. The communication is there. The speed is there.
No.
Everything you need.
Oh, no. I thought it was I was like, how does Express get that angle? How did the ball move like that?
It didn't matter. He had it if Decker did.
First touch is not a great one. It's completely the opposite, ladies and gentlemen. So Chimpwits, unfortunate own goal, but Tainted Minds, good start.
Yeah, strong opportunities there. I reckon they would have had it either way. Everyone was in position. Decker, not the touch you want, but, it's early in league play.
Definitely is. Tainted Minds. Now on the offense once again. Requiem gets bumped out of the way. Again, been a while since we've seen him, and hopefully this season as well we see a bit more out of Decker. Like Decker just didn't get the best stats in last league play.
No, he's had a lot of growth since then. He saw a huge growth period over the course of the competition. At the beginning, he was very lackluster, but with the support of Bango and Walcott at the time, there was a lot of growth by the end of it.
So a shot there by Delusion. Saved away easily by Tainted Minds. Shady now carrying the ball through. Off that wall again. Centered. Chimpwits getting some good touches here, meeting Tainted Minds mid-air. Shady from the corner, 2 members commit. Express is waiting there, and see confident play there from Tainted Minds.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you've locked them in their half for how long now with these pressure plays continuing? Very reminiscent of last season's style where they just lock you in. And CJ sets up the play, but it drops back down.
Well, Express won't get the touch, still centered there. They're going to have to reset now. An opportunity. Chimpwits clearing it down the other side of the field, but they can't find it. Again, an open net, but opportunity eludes itself there for Chimpwits. Maybe you'll find it again soon.
It's not always about getting the ball hysteric. Sometimes it's about just absolutely colliding with your opponent's car to open it up for your teammates.
Well, Delusion wants to collide mid-air with that ball, but he can't find that either. Chimpwits on the defense once again. CJ, not the optimal touch, but it'll work its way over to Express anyway. And Tainted Minds in a good, comfortable position in this side of the field. Chimpwits looking to break through, and this is what's finding it so hard at the moment. Chimpwits, that's Requiem off the wall. He won't get the dribble down. Shady, easy save again. Tainted Minds. Passionate about their ball play today.
Yeah, and they're so... Oh, the opening has been done. Shady with a great demo. Second follow-up touch as well. That's the 1, 2, 3. 2 on the ball, 1 on the opposition. Great team play.
Now that's the pass and that's the touch you want. So this time it truly was Express.
It's all calculated there. They had the 3-man setups. Doesn't matter where your opposition are there. They help you out or you destroy them on the way through.
But for Tainted Minds, a great start to game number 1. They want the start to league play, and much like Chiefs, they want to be following or at least equal, not trailing them.
Well, the expectation is here. Chimpwits is coming in near the bottom of the league, whereas Tainted Minds are really pushing for that top 2 seed against OCE's champions Chiefs. So they need to be doing a strong showing early in the competition.
But remember, always hidden talent here and always expectations going awry. Chimpwits can make that happen. But game 1, an early lead there. A strange pass from CJ, but it works out, excuse me. The ball goes directly down and a light touch up. It's not a save just yet. Clear doesn't come through either. Express waiting patiently. They'll just go to the other side of the field. Getting creative now, Tainted Minds.
Oh, some great reads there by CJ. Getting in position as well.
Oh,
but
no.
the runaway is too much. Requiem takes the goal for free.
Right, first one, Chimpwits on the board. A good start, and Tainted Minds, you can see they all just went forward, not respecting Chimpwits. And that ball went at a mighty fine 62 kilometers per hour. That's like normal highway road.
Yeah, you wouldn't even get a ticket for that one. Clear monkeying around from Tainted Minds as the offense just went way too deep.
Well, Chimpwits, though, it's a goal. It's the start, a minute 50. Decker goes up for the ball, but Tainted Minds back on this offense. Good rebound ball, and Requiem can't regain control. Sorry, that was not Requiem. It was Delusion, but Requiem does clear it away eventually. CJ now waiting as Delusion picks up his savior medal. Pressure putting them on this defense constantly. CJ has to recover, doesn't have enough boost, and Shady as well.
Yeah, good defense there from Delusion, sticking to the rear post with positioning, and you're going to need as the offense
here
to
it
keep
goes
coming
again.
out.
Whoop! CJ gets it in eventually, Courier, and that's how it's done.
Just roll it on through, straight underneath. The offense from Tainted Minds, they're so quick to back each other up and allow each other to finish these goals.
Requiem was so close. He swings through that net. He thinks he gets it out, but CJ flips onto the ball. And Tainted Minds, a firm early lead. In game number 1, Chimpwits feeling the pain, and again, it's this time it's not 3 rookies against 3 pros. You've got Decky, you got Delusion, and you got players who can make passing plays like this. Delusion, the 3rd and final, and I feel like Requiem maybe should have had it with the 2nd.
Well, when you talk about rookies and pros, right, we had Delusion on Chimpwits, a player who was renowned, one of the highest statistical players in OCE, only 2nd to Drip A. And he's really struggling.
He is. He really is. Chimpwits there. An opportunity that almost went awry, and Tainted Minds couldn't find themselves inside. 45 seconds now. Dropping in front of net. Chimpwits just getting denied once more. The demo there, Requiem. That's not good. Shady sets himself up, but CJ doesn't come in. They're just playing with fire here. CJ, a great touch off the wall. It'll just enable this ball to go right back where it belongs.
So incredibly safe as well. CJ decides to wait out of the play until it's just safe enough and then go for the follow-up. Enabled no counter-attack from Chimpwits, but inevitably still led to that goal. Smart plays all around by Tainted Minds.
And looking at this game 1, it feels like there is such a gap. Now, it is only one game. It is only one game out of the series. But for the start of league play, Tainted Minds, I said this about Chiefs, they just want to get the ball rolling. Not literally. In league play, getting these early wins, especially if you only have one series in the first week is so crucial.
And the fact they mentioned these passes, right? CJ has seamlessly transitioned into the Tainted Ryan's roster. They used to have all of those. Oh, whoa, right under the nose. Delusion is showing his mettle. Maybe a little too late, but hopefully the momentum carries to the next one.
Yeah, look, for Delusion, really important as well, and a good dribble. Good solo play as well, past 2 people from Tainted Minds. So 4-2, that'll end the game.
Yeah, the superstar's potential of Delusion is something they're going to have to lean on going into this game. When you have such a resilient force of Tainted Minds, every little thing you can eke out over them is something you need to utilize.
Well, ball's going to hit the ground, and maybe they can find a little bit more in game number 2, but Chimpwits 4-2, and Tainted Minds secure themselves first blood.
I'm not too surprised with how that went. That's the big stomp from Tainted Minds coming out in terms of possession. We are seeing Tainted Minds with all that control as well. But the big takeaway for me is just how well that they just connected. Like, it's phenomenal.
I think Requiem and Shady share an interest in anime, by the way, but that's for you to decide. However, moving into game number 2, Chimpwits, there were some moments where individuality was really, really important. I think Delusion has showed that before, but you're not dealing with Siki and Cyrix, who constantly set you up for success.
Oh yeah, feed you balls.
You've got Deca and Requiem, very different playstyles.
Yeah, because you had like Siki, who used to average like 4 shots a game, highest in the entire league, and then Cyrix at the time was pumping out like top 5 assists, top 5 goals as well. So there's so many opportunities around that goal mouth for Delusion to finish. But it's a different, as you said, different case. You have this situation where your teammates don't have that level of support for you yet because you don't have that communication and the mechanical skill isn't quite there yet.
And on top of that, I mean, it's Tainted Minds, right? You got CJ, who is, you know, just such a good player. Just such an all-round great guy as well.
He loves being on the ball.
Yeah, literally loves being on a car as well. And on top of that, Shady and Express have been around for ages. So you're going up against a team that expects to be top 2. If not maybe the best. If they can topple Chiefs, which, okay, top 2.
I reckon top 2 is fair. And I think stylistically they haven't changed that much from last season. They're very, very pressure orientated. They get in there fast and they hold you out. There was a moment there where we saw it break forward and Chimpwits managed to find a goal, but it's just so methodical.
I guess at this point as well, we're calling it Darkside, you know, old Darkside roster. Because
the play style is very reminiscent of Darkside.
Well, we got Shady and Express, so it makes perfect sense. So Tainted Minds is essentially a bit of a crossover. Best crossover in history, we're going to have to find out. But CJ joining the roster. So far, so good. Game 2 now. And Chimpwits, they're on the offense.
And they had that big demo there. That was the opportunity to break forward, and it's whether or not Delusion could style his way through with the 3-man defense of Tainted Minds. It may just become a counterattack.
What a touch by Shady. Deca narrowly saves it away, but CJ just brings it back in. And Chimpwits had a good opportunity, and it was again a good response save there from Tainted Minds, but they've just turned this around immediately. They get through defense, and CJ throws his own surprise party.
And they just live in that midfield. You can just see every single one of Tainted Minds players slowly taking turns, taking shots at the goals. Eventually, they're going to break one through. It's such a low-risk play style that they can just slowly leverage this into a huge lead.
And I think this lead as well, it just feels natural, right? From Tainted Minds. Now, this is absolutely baloney, but I'm going to make sense in a second. Tainted Minds just make it look so easy. Just natural passing plays here in the defense. Straight on. They've found another opening, and this is what I was talking about. They just roll the ball in.
It's the heavy contrast, right? When you have a team that doesn't have as much experience working together, communication's not there. A way you can try leverage the advantage is to be really fast. But Tainted Minds don't need that. They can draw you in knowing they have that really strong defense when they're committed, get you to overextend and then get the goal.
I mean, Express was like mid-flip. It was just like, oh, ball. That's nice. And literally got a goal. So Tainted Minds right now taking full advantage there of Chimpwits, and an early lead once again in game number 2. Be a great way for Tainted Minds to close out the day if they can manage to get this 3-0.
A great start to the play as well. Imagine just you pick up the new roster, you want to test it out in league play. Day 1, 100% win rate. That's what you want.
And they're right back in front of that net. Shady had an opportunity to score, but Chimpwits the breakaway. Now what can they find? The center's not even there, and Requiem struggling to get a touch on the ball. Deca waiting under it, but they have no boost. CJ walks forward, and Shady, Express running amok here. Express will hang back.
Delusion out of the play. We saw the big bump come out, trying to keep him as distant as possible, knowing that you can safely defend against the other two. Good utilization of bumps is going to keep them in the game.
And big clear once again. Tainted Minds style continues. Decker gets a response off that wall. CJ. He pops the ball up, but Requiem off on the side. Decker's here too. Illusion will hit it around. He bumps himself out of the way. Requiem on the defense there. Shady. CJ still, again, running amok. And it's 2-0. It's 2 minutes 40 remaining. Tainted Mind showing so much control here. And it really, frankly, it looks like they're having fun.
Yeah, forcing Delusion onto the back foot is just going to keep paying dividends over and over. He hasn't got the ability to get into positions to be able to counterattack after he saves, which is locking them in their half.
Ball finally clearing away. Chimpwits, this is the opportunity. The double touch Requiem right when we needed him.
And this is the opportunity they need to now follow up upon. They can take those high risky play styles and leverage that into a 2-all, potentially drag it into overtime, or they can just go all the way in and try to draw Tainted Minds out.
That was so important, Korea. For Chimpwits, they just need this boost of confidence against Tainted Minds. And if Requiem's given it to them, then that's all you could ask for. The ball once again down the side that Chimpwits do not want it to be. Express off this corner. What can he make of it? Tainted Minds, the attack continues, but Chimpwits, they've got a goal now. Can they deny this? No. Tainted Minds with the 2-goal lead once again.
Yeah, straight back to last game's playstyle where they just have first player set up over the backboard and they just slowly take turns taking the pot shots till it's in. And CJ's finished this one.
They're sweeter than honey right now. Tainted Minds, 3-1, 2 minutes remaining. And a good start as well. For Tainted Minds, we can test where they're at. That's what this whole season's going to be about. What team joins Chiefs? I'm going to say it right now because I think that's a very fair point to make.
I mean, history repeats itself, right? Chiefs has been there every year, and now it's who goes with them. And when you combine the two biggest competitors with the Jam, Dark-Sided, Tainted Minds combination roster, it's a fair assumption.
I mean, that was a while ago, Kuru. We are reminiscing just that extra little bit. 1 minute 30, Tainted Minds.
Well, big demo, though, coming out of Shady, enabling them to push forward. This is the scary moment. You've got no boost. You've got one player down. The goal is going to be slowly opened up. The first touch comes out of the defense, though. They're locked in hard. Consecutive touches from Tainted Minds. What's going to happen next?
Well, minute 15, Chimpwits might have run out of time. And I think now we can start saying that Tainted Minds are the roster that could be the one that joins Chiefs, well, at least in the first week. You start thinking, is this the roster that joins them? One series, it's not a big enough sample size, is it?
I don't know, I think it's pretty indicative. If the effect is strong enough, the sample size doesn't have to be large. But that is a boomer towards Chimpwits' goals.
50 seconds remaining. Tainted Minds look all but sure to secure this game number 2. And for some reason, I've just been thrown off by some stupid note I've been given. I'm not sure why. But 30 seconds remaining. And I'm not looking forward to this next segment.
Well, I don't think Chimpwits is looking forward to their defense. They're really struggling to break on through as Tainted Minds doing another consecutive attack. It's whether or not they can actually do it a little bit more confidently because they missed the opportunity to close as they have earlier in the game.
And for Tainted Minds, like me, they're saying no. Chimpwits will not get themselves anywhere near game 2. And now we're on match point, and Tainted Minds deliver themselves into the jaws of a friendly 3-0 possibility.
Too little, too late. 0 seconds left on the clock. But it's a nice way to finish the game. Builds back some of that confidence that you're going to need if you want to make that reverse.
As you said, though, Chimpwits need that boost of confidence. They didn't find it from scoring at the end of first game. Will they find it from scoring at the end of this one?
I'm hoping so for their sake. The possession was heavily favoring Tainted Minds throughout the entire match. There was more opportunities for Tainted Minds to score. There's a couple of open goal opportunities there for them. But Chimpwits had some nice little moments there. Delusion finding one out from under them.
It was Requiem, really, I'll say, that found his moment. You know, the double touch off the backboard was great, but it was like, what more can we see?
What more can we see, Hysterics?
I don't know, don't care, really. Honestly, someone telling me to put a shoe on my head for some reason. Like, yeah, man, that's great. Let's put a shoe on someone's head in a $700 suit. That's a good idea. Let's pay for the dry cleaning. Anyway, let's move forward. Chimpwits and Tainted Minds. This is now the point that defines Chimpwits. It's not just this first order where Order were having a bit of an off day. It's Tainted Minds who have not lost control at any point in this game, and they continue to be on the attack.
Well, that's the expectation, right? They should be winning this game, and Chimpwits shouldn't be able to put up any measure of defense against this level of
Yep.
caliber. Chimpwits is meant to be a team that has come together, led by Delusion, a superstar player, and having two kind of middling level league play teams, teammates. And then on the flip side, you have the hardcore Tainted Minds roster that should destroy them. That 3-2 is not as confidence building as it should be.
Because you said it was going to be decimating. Or
Oh, yeah.
To quote you.
I'm expecting way bigger scores than that.
Yeah. 3-0, but finishing in a 3-2 is great, but it's by the clock when Tainted Minds are going, yep, whatever. And CJ, I think, just still having that performance where kind of beating out anyone who comes across him.
Yeah, it's the possession is really where you see it in.
Yep.
There's not many opportunities for Chimpwits to score. I think pretty much whenever the ball goes into the midfield, you can see that there's a confidence there with Tainted Minds. They're just kind of rotating through, taking a couple of shots, casually meandering. It's reminiscent of how Chiefs was earlier in the day.
But it's also reminiscing how the old Tainted Minds was as well, or the old Dark-Sided too. Like both of them were just in a league of their own, and we were talking about it earlier. It feels like there is a top 5. And definitely, you have Tainted Minds sitting in them. At the moment, Chimpwits, no, they're sitting outside the bubble.
And this is their opportunity to break through. So if they could make the reverse sweep, I mean, that's a big if, but if they could do it, they'd really be upsetting everyone.
Well, we have to see it now. Game 3 begins. Chimpwits have an opportunity, but they first have to score the first goal. That's great. Deny Tainted Minds control. That's a whole thing entirely.
Well, they started off strong, right? They got straight on forward, but the big demo from Express denied the follow-up and left their goal open. Another touch on the side. This is the classic play from Tainted Minds. First one goes to the backboard touch. The follow-up comes through, but Chimpwits has adapted and managed to break that cycle.
They all push up. Chimpwits now on the attack, but Tainted Minds is still that control. Express pushes it up. CJ's there, and Chimpwits just trying to meet them halfway. Not sure that is the right call. Shady dunks it down. Great save there by Requiem. But it's not over. Tainted Minds still have plenty to work with. CJ will run out of boost, but Express just takes a shot. And Tainted Minds having the time of their life down here.
Yeah, it's just pass and shot, pass and shot. So much boost being used by CJ, but he didn't want to sacrifice the position. Decides to go back in. And you see, even when it goes into their own half, they're turning it right back around.
Look, there's always an ultimatum here. Tainted Minds say, if we go forward, we may we may leave ourselves open, but we're not going to let the ball go past. And always, the ultimatum works in their favor. Tainted Minds in front of net once again. That shot is wide. Express doesn't nail it down. But 3 shots already out of Tainted Minds, and Chimpwits struggling to get near that net of Tainted.
Yeah, this is the closest the opportunities they've had all game. And I think it was off the back of Shady lacking a bit of confidence coming forward. Probably a little bit too safe in the midfield. They could have kept the pressure going. But now they conceded that to Decker. What a shot in the top left of the bins.
CJ was like, I'm not sure that's going in. It's probably going to hit top corner, no dramas. But it did not work out. And Chimpwits finally on the board first. Decker receiving that ball like it's Christmas already.
And Shady getting destroyed for his efforts as well. Requiem saying, thanks for the goal.
Bad Santa. Unfortunately for Chimpwits, though, Christmas has an expiry date.
That's a bit weird.
It's the 26th of December. Yes, it is. At the moment, the kickoff kind of worked out weirdly, but here's the opening again. Tainted Minds blocked Delusion with the save. He still just can't get this goal. This could be a growing issue. Express says no, and Chimpwits say yes.
The defense from Chimpwits has become a lot more efficient. They're starting to rotate from rear post and then move forward to actually get the clear rather than sitting on the left post. But it's not enough. Express found the hole anyway.
And really, Tainted Minds always do find it. Chimpwits sorry, that's not grammatically correct. Struggling on the defense here. 2 members unable to read Express.
Well, the beginning of the game, Chimpwits did have those guys rotating from rear post to be in time and ready for the defense. But that was the first time we catch them in the middle of the goal, unprepared, and that's what allowed Tainted Minds to score.
And now, one apiece. Tainted Minds going for these flashy plays once again. CJ doesn't receive the ball, but Chimpwits are on the defense once again. Express comes in. Out-rotated, a good touch by CJ there, but Shady's already back. He'll be able to clear this way. No, he won't. And again, they commit everything and lose it all.
Yeah, uncharacteristic punishments coming out against Tainted Minds, but that is a great read there from Chimpwits. They've been drawing them in, Tainted Minds struggling to get the conversion and allowing themselves to be punished.
Well, at this point, Chimpwits could definitely start the reverse sweep. Tainted Minds making some mistakes, but...
not showing respect.
Yeah, absolutely. Chimpwits there, holding strong so far, 2 minutes 30. The attack seems to be the strength there for Chimpwits. Pushing forward, Tainted Minds. Opportunity arises once again. Shady and Express, the duo, coming back in. Express tries to dunk it. He's wide. CJ, the pass will be back to him. The communication good, but the breach and clear once again from Chimpwits works out. Clear response by Tainted Minds, but CJ doesn't get the touch.
I think that's a couple of consecutive misses there from the aerial from CJ. CJ, maybe the nerves are getting to him, and is he struggling to get the touches off?
Korea's not nerves. I mean, he's been on the world stage. At the moment, mistakes are just happening. First day of league play.
No, fair enough. I'll concede that one.
I have never been more confident that there are no nerves in Tainted Minds right now. They're just looking to do their best and not having the best show of it here in Game 3, but the pass is still good, and they've just firmed it up, Korea. If that doesn't answer your question, I don't know what will.
Well, I think they need to get a little bit more than that. It's a good read there. It's back to that play style where they're getting the passes off. Good communication leading to goals. Infield passes are always a beautiful thing to see coming out of Tainted Minds. But 2-all. This is still Chimpwits' game to win.
All right. Can they hold further? Can they find that extra goal off the kickoff? Decker doesn't receive. Forward it goes for Tainted Minds. Express directing it the other way. Requiem and Delusion hanging around this corner. It will be CJ who takes the ball, and a good touch there by Shady. Negates it away from that net. Requiem, he's run out of boost here, but again, the defense, is it being respected? That was potentially an open net. Chimpwits, all they have to do is score the next goal, and with this limited amount of time remaining, who knows? This is where it happens. Decker can't find the ball.
But Tainted Minds can't find their defense either. All of them struggling to find position. It's just through the skin of their teeth they're managing to defend. Every single touch is up.
Again, finished off by Delusion, so now finally they get the goal. And Tainted Minds are in trouble.
But the ragtag team takes through the ragtag defense of Tainted Minds with some great touches. All three of them were underneath that play. None of them could get up in time.
1:09 remaining. Chimpwits, this is your time to shine against Tainted Minds. I mean, we almost saw an upset with Justice today, but Tainted Minds in front of net. They don't want to see one. They don't want it to be them. They want this 3-0. The ball again. Tainted Minds. What the heck are you doing?
And they're just getting counterattacked over and over. You want them to learn from these kind of mistakes, right? They're overcommitting. They had such a great thing going in the first two games. They just sat in that midfield, slowly drudged through it until they eventually broke through and got that goal. But now they're just everywhere.
But they could do this in the first two games, because if they let a goal through, it wasn't the end of the world. But Tainted Minds, they can't do this anymore. There's 53 seconds. A good save by Decker might just keep them in the game. 2 goals difference, and Tainted Minds have to firm this up. Shady with the backboard. No one being able to redirect it there, and Express comes in off the corner. They hold out. The pinch from CJ. It may stay down here, but Tainted Minds have pretty much run out of time.
Deck is almost empty on boost. Delusion is too. This is their opportunity to
Or
score.
not.
And there we see Express finds the hole, punches it on.
I knew I'd eat my words. 1 goal difference, 30 seconds. Tainted Minds finally switching on. What a pass from Shady as well. Nudges it back, says the old, hey, how's it going? And Express just locks it in for some bangers and mash.
They need to keep this pace up if they're still hungry, though, because they need to break through. They're only 30 seconds, and a huge goal potential coming out of Chimpwits.
Saved by Express, though. This keeps it alive. Tainted Minds from the corner. Not over just yet. 23 seconds. Requiem cannot find the drop down. Mistimed. Chimpwits just have to hold on. But monkey see, monkey do. And they've seen what Tainted Minds can do, and now they're here to play.
Inverting it as well, 5-3. That is the scoreboard I was expecting, but not this direction. Great play from Chimpwits, breaking through Tainted Minds' defense and just showing them how it's done.
I guess now we've got a bit of a series on our hands. 11 seconds, and even Tainted Minds know this is a bit bonkers.
Yeah, and the scoreboard's coming out of this as well. Was that 600 or 800? I need my glasses.
I'm not sure. We don't need to know at the moment. We'll find out. At the moment, Chimpwits, they'll take us to Game 4 against Tainted Minds, and they've started to switch on themselves.
What a massive improvement in terms of Chimpwits' performance across those two games. Working out how to communicate better themselves, getting up to the ball, but most importantly, defending.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to read Tainted Minds is a big thing, but to that regard as well, Tainted Minds struggling. It's all right, Curry, what do you want me to read out? You look a bit lost without glasses.
Decker with that 825, that's got to be a new record.
I feel like that's a new record. We'll confirm that for you. But Decker, who really, did not hit high in stats last season, if he gets a new record, that is just, what a start for him.
Yeah, he's one of those players that saw great growth over the last league play. He came in, he was really rough. It was his first experience in that huge stage.
Yeah.
And then he had that slow growth and eventually became a strong contender.
Yeah.
And now we're just seeing him destroy the pitch.
I mean, 825. Confirm me if I feel like 600 and something was the record.
I think Days had 720, which may have been broken earlier today, which was re-broken then.
All right,
That's my stab.
Hey, we'll find out. Yummy Cheese Man says no in the back of our screens. I wish we had a camera to throw to him, and he just goes like, no. However, for Chimpwits, this is the reverse sweep in the making. Justice Esports took order to all 5 games. Chimpwits can do the same. They can go one step further and create the upset with Tainted Minds.
And that's a strong way to go, right? If you can beat Tainted Minds out of the gate, you have Delusion, so you have some credibility, you have that pedigree going on there as well. Deca with that monstrous improvement, they could be the potential team that goes all the way. The new Dark Horse, the Pale Horse even.
The Pale Horse, the difference was that Pale Horse at the end became like one of the best teams and just dominated other splits. Chimpwits, it starts here. It can start with any team. That's why the top 8 this time is so competitive, because we have these roster changes. And we have people like Decker and Delusion who are jumping on. Requiem, who I knew as, sub for Chiefs and back in Masterminds, as I'm constantly reminded.
Yeah, he had his own fan club, the Billy Fan Club.
The Billy Fan Club. They played homage to Requiem. But now, they can actually make a bit of a name for themselves. They can go through the stage of just being a top 8 team to being a potential top 4. It starts with League Play Week 1.
And you can take advantage of that shuffle. A lot of the teams are still trying to work out the kinks inside their armor, and when you have a team that is still trying to adjust to that, they have a lot of leverage that they can now pull.
That's an advantage as well, because if you don't have any armor, if you don't have any, you don't have to worry about the kinks. Yeah? Good. Let's go to game number 4 now, ladies and gentlemen. Chimpwits surprising us against Tainted Minds. How much further can they go? Tainted Minds, they wanted to end it at 3-0, but they weren't able to.
And I mean, I picked all 3 of them for my fantasy team, so I also wanted them to end 3-0.
Well, Korea, you're an unbiased caster, mate. Next time, pick Chimpwits. They bring it back down off that back wall. Chimpwits again, trying to hold themselves to a stronger standard. Delusion with the clear, but it's been intercepted. Shady bounces it down. A good save by Decker, but Express is coming back in. Requiem out this time, and Tainted Minds a couple of shots, and it goes dirty.
But they're getting to push forward, breaking through to Tainted Minds' defense. The scramble may just be there in time, but Delusion pre-jumps for the kick.
Good pop up there by Express. He'll hit it around the corner. Shady's read it well as well. And CJ, or the JC's career, like to call him, goes mid. The save away again. Delusion comes back in. Chimpwits putting on the power to Tainted Minds.
Blocking them in their half. This is a huge flip on what we saw in the previous games. Chimpwits have a lot of control and are putting Tainted Minds on the back end rather than having a situation where they're relying on counterattacks.
Shady gets demoed, but the shot goes wide there from CJ. Express will now have to play patiently as Shady comes back up. CJ in the midfield. You can see now, patient play from Tainted Minds. They've slowed down a little bit, and they've been playing a little bit safer. They'll bring it back forward, but Shady's just been given this one on a platter.
That's what we need to see him do. We had some misconfidence there in the earlier games, but after the big bump in the setup from CJ, he had that open goal to take advantage of. That's the Tainted Minds we want to see. There was 3 players involved, one doing the bump, one doing the pass, one do the finish. That's clean and methodical.
Tainted Minds, Korea, maybe clean and methodical in other times, but Chimpwits have shown they can break them down. Game 4, a big moment for Chimpwits. Can they find this ball? Delusion. He does not. Decker brings it back down, and Tainted Minds on the defense. Is this where they strike? And Decker will get the demo on the way out, but Shady's already taken the ball. CJ bumps him, and now Chimpwits just have to get back in defense. They'll lose the ball for a second. Requiem doesn't get the second touch, and Chimpwits now just have to worry about what Tainted Minds are going to do, and it's off the backboard.
Yeah, Chimpwits running low on boost. That was a critical clear that came out there, forcing them back into their rotations, allowing them to get more boost and fight the next fight.
Well, Delusion almost ready to knock the ball in. Requiem comes in off this left wing, and Shady's here. The dribble coming through. CJ can't get the intercept, but they get it first. Chimpwits getting cheeky here, and looks like they've been fed way too many bananas today.
At least we're seeing Tainted Minds on the back foot. When they do have that one player back, they're not overcommitting. They're pulled Express. He goes from the rear post and gets the save.
But Express just set it up for CJ. CJ Delusion pops it up. Shady's there. Tainted Minds, the passing play continues, but 2 minutes 30, a 1-goal lead. We've got a quieter game number 4.
I think it's because it's a lot more even. Both teams are getting a fair amount of possession. Chimpwits is not relying on the counter-attack. They're simply taking the fight to Tainted Minds.
Great clear from CJ. CJ, he's just run out of boost and will now recover. Sends it over everyone. The ball pinches almost in. Shady off the wall. What a play!
Good touch to see. They're loving off those backboards inside of the corner post plays, allowing them to get the touch and catch the defense unaware.
And Tainted Minds, this is the control that we expected throughout the whole series. Game 3, they were lacking in it severely. And now it looks like they finally recovered enough to take it to Chimpwits.
I mean, CJ's not someone that's afraid to be behind. We saw him last season. They came in at 4th seed for the play-ins for RLCS, but managed to make the run all the way up. These are guys that are not going to bow to the pressure.
But it's also a testament to Chimpwits to take them to Game 4 at the very least. Shady comes back down, the dunk denied by Delusion. Shady will hang back. The rotation's now in effect. It's Tainted Minds. I was going to say Twisted Minds. Maybe it's just mine. Have 145 to hold this 2-goal lead.
Shady bit slow there in the rotation. 2 players on defense up. His teammates opening them, but him not having that confidence, sitting in the midfield, costing them a couple of opportunities.
Well, Tainted Minds still holding that control of those opportunities. Not going to go in vain there for Chimpwits. Shady and Express bring it back down, and it's just bouncing in. CJ can't find it. Nobody can find it. Everyone's clustering for the ball. Reckon we'll finally take it out of there, but CJ just steals it back over. Express comes in mid-bump. Shady sets it up for Express, and Tainted Minds just sitting in front of this net.
So much patience there, and it paid off as well. Bold enough time for CJ. CJ, that is a great demo. It's going to give them some breathing room as they get out of this defense.
Yeah, there's a potential goal there by Chimpwits, and that demolition relieves so much pressure. Express now on the left-hand wing. We'll just leave it for CJ. CJ's Requiem. I don't know what he's doing with the ball, but obviously just playing with it.
Free possession, I'll
Off the
take that.
backboard, Shady now goes wide with the shot, but you can see it there. CJ will recover this. No one's in net. That's a goal. And Tainted Minds will lock this down.
Chimpwits completely drawn out there by Tainted Minds. That's what we want to see, taking advantage of the fact they won't have that strict rotations. From being more of a pick-up team, Tainted Minds can leverage that into open goals.
But for Tainted Minds, getting a start in league play was just so big. It was just so important. And for them to take it against Chimpwits was essential to getting league play off to a great start.
Well, for them, this is an assumed win. For them to drop here, they'll completely shatter the illusion of them being a top 2 team before it can fully crystallize.
Start talking about it if Chimpwits are able to get a goal in the next 5 seconds. Otherwise, I don't like their chances. But Game 3, the Chimpwits we saw there, the ones who capitalize on mistakes and find openings. Those are the Chimpwits that can make upsets.
But unfortunately, I think Express has fixed the hole in their rotations. He's happy to go back in time now. Sits at that rear post, and that's completely shutting down Chimpwits' counterattacks.
Well, Chimpwits had a good run, but game number 4 will shut them down. They take one off for Tainted Minds, and it's not a 3-0, so you can't say it was a stop. You can't say any of that. CJ secures it with the 4th goal. And Tainted Minds, a 3-1 in week 1, or league play, number 1 here at the Rocket League OCE Championship.
It's a pretty strong showing. I think they're going to be happy with that. It's not the 3-0 they wanted,
but it's the 3-0 they deserve. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think Tainted Minds have a lot to work on this week.
Yeah, I think they did pretty well reasonably. I think the biggest standout for me was how well Chimpwits played.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there was a time where I looked at Decker's score and I went, that is incredible. I don't think I've spotlighted Decker in the Rocket League OC Championship. It was good to see him shine. Yeah,
he's been putting in the work. It's Decker and Requiem who are really try-harding this season.
Yeah.
And that's in a group of people who do this as professionally as such. So that really shows. The problem really is that a lot of their play relies on them being in attack. They're good in attack.
Yeah.
They go for these big aggressive dunks. But once they're in defense, they really aren't quite sure where they need to be.
And that's the difficult part of being a team that doesn't have as much experience together, is defense is the last thing you adapt to and the last thing you grow as a team.
Yeah, and a lot of the goals that were scored against them scored against Tainted Minds, they were just given, essentially, because Tainted Minds were playing so aggressively. They were playing as the teamiest team today.
Yeah.
They played more team players, so many 1, 2, 3s that I saw. And it also meant that they were playing really close. So as soon as one big clear down the center happened, that was a goal.
But that's an easy situation to fix going forward. You just need to make sure one guy comes back in time, and I think they fixed that over the course
But
of the series.
also speaking of fixing things, I guess at Game 3, you start questioning, all right, Tainted Minds, if they drop this, how much further could they go? They may have firmed it up in Game 4, but I think there's still some question marks around certain plays. Not to take it away from Chimpwits, but I think,
Wait, who's the question mark around?
Around Tainted Minds. There's a question mark there.
I guess, but I felt that was a really good performance from them, and that if they just tighten up a couple of things, they can still take that
Meet me
second
halfway.
spot.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No, I'm going to go with Yummy. I don't think that was halfway. I think that was a very diplomatic way of saying they had one mistake. Chimpwits beat that
But
mistake.
still,
They fixed that. They're golden.
It was a very important win for Tainted Minds. They needed this. We're going to have a look at standings after today because that's the only series Tainted Minds are going to play. And that's it for Rocket League Championship League Play 1. Let's see where we sit, guys. And I think expectations, that word again. We'll start with Chief.
Chiefs not only undefeated, but undefeated in games. They're 6-0.
That is an absolutely monstrous start, but it's how they go forward that I want to see. We also have Tainted Minds, the only other undefeated teams, and an upset there with Order.
I think the upset is truly with Avant Gaming being 1-1.
Yeah.
With Order, Korea, yes, it is the same matchup, but with Order being equal with Avant Gaming have that head-to-head going forward.
They've got a big advantage going throughout the league play. They need to climb up slowly, and I think they have a good chance.
Yeah, as well, we will look at them in the further weeks and see if they can make more upsets. Outside of our bubble teams, I don't think really the top 8 has anything to fear. Everyone can create these upsets.
Yeah, I think this is the least bubbly season we've seen so far. There's a lot more movement potentially there. I know when we were all filling out our predictions for how it's going to go, we weren't just like, there's actually a level of conversation.
Yeah, a lot of disagreements coming out, especially the top 4. A lot of us were like, who is the team that's not going to make it? Who is going to cause the upsets? Because we know those are going to happen. And it really feels like a lot of grey areas between, instead of tier.
Yep.
I think the pyramid is a little bit wonky this season, if I may say
Leaning
so.
tower.
However, yeah, as we finish off the show, guys, we have to give an MVP just because I say so. Who would you pick today? And can I guess who it is after you've said it?
I already
Trippe?
told you before
After he
this
said
match.
Before, I mean.
Guess,
Probably
yeah.
Trippe.
There was only one person, and that was Trippe. 585 points per game.
Wow.
He scored 11 goals off 6 games, 8 assists, 14 saves, and 27 shots. He has been the best player throughout the last season. In OCE, the best player. Today, he showed that. I think he had one game where he didn't really pop off. The rest of them, he was scoring goals off the backboard, scoring left and right and center.
That's why
ridiculous.
you know.
And in the context, right, the game that he didn't pop off, they still won because everyone else was already there popping off.
I mean, he wasn't playing bad.
Yeah.
He just wasn't scoring a million goals.
Yeah.
He's showing why he's one of the best players in the world. They've shown that many times again, and the Chiefs are looking as strong as ever. However, that's it for this week. A big thank you to Wolfie. A big thank you to the other Jake as well, Yummy Cheeseman, Courier Lord, and our production team here at Showdown Studios. We'll be back next week at 10 a.m. AEST for League Play number 2.